The blues. Part 1 is in the story 2 of the video below. One of those days, I'm mentally exhausted. I just can't get past what happened with ex-wife last year. The betrayal, the lies, the family being broken up. I am so scarred from all of this. Seeing my kids only half the week. It all runs through my head daily, every day. It's emotionally draining. It's been 6 months since she dropped the bomb. I just want to not give a crap anymore. That's what I want more than anything in life, to just not give a crap about this anymore. I would pay every dollar that I have to not care anymore. I just want it all to end. Why can't I just not care like she doesn't care? It will be one of the best days of my life when I don't care about this anymore. 6 months of thoughts running through my head. I can't imagine 6 more months of the same. It is truly a prison without walls. I'm really at a loss, not sure what to do. I was married for 7 years to my ex-wife. 3 kids involved. She had an as she pushed for divorce despite my trying to work things out. Divorce was final in Feb. Me and ex-wife went months with no real conversation about anything. I would always keep it very short. The 1 day a week kids are exchanged. A couple months back I started dating a new woman. She loves me so much and thinks the world of me. My problem is I'm severely unemotionally available and have made this clear to her from day one. Still, she has grown on me and I have feelings, but at end of day I could care less. I'm damaged from this hell, but she remains at my side. My relationship with ex-wife has passed the bitter stage. I'm friendly in our exchanges. This is best for my kids. My ex-wife has a habit of dropping by lately for stupid reasons. She's always offering to bring me this or that in things regarding kids and will ask me on my free days if she can run by our former house for what seems like dumb items. This woman was the love of my life. I still have love for her despite being crap on. Sometimes I feel as though she is almost getting a free pass with me engaging in conversation with her. Part of me feels as though she should lose me in every facet in life. That me being her friend is how she eventually saw things playing out. I almost feel like I'm making things her way like she's thinking. I knew things would calm down and everything would be okay. Part of me wants to never say a word to her and make her realize I'm gone, that I'm not your buddy. It's such a tightrope. I need opinions. Am I better off keeping it very short with her or am I better off being friendly with her? Even when I'm short with her I'm not mean, just indifferent. I hope one day she realizes leaving me was a mistake. What do you all think is the better angle for making her realize this? Being short or being friendly? I know that I am a great guy. I can easily replace her. It's my family being broken which hurts me. I know I shouldn't care what she thinks and just move on with my life. But there's always a part of me that wants her to feel regret of letting me go. Her mother cries when she sees me. She knows how much I loved her daughter and my kids. She knows it's rare. She thinks her daughter will regret this. I guess what this whole post boils down to is this: I wouldn't be mean or disrespectful to ex-wife. But I feel like being friendly and engaging in conversation with her is making this whole process easier for her. 3 months later, I went through so many dark days all alone in a home I once shared with my ex-wife of 7 years and 3 children. I would cry myself to sleep and pray things would get better. It got so low at one point in January I almost contemplated ending my life. Damn sure glad I didn't, but I came close. Going through the holidays last year was terrible and depressing. You get so used to your life being one way and then bam, it's turned upside down. Best comparison I could give is like a passing of someone close. I remember having so much anxiety I could feel my heart beating in my throat every minute of the day. I sit here now thinking back to those dark days and I remember thinking, God, if I could just not think about this for 10 minutes I would empty out my bank account. I was so mentally exhausted from thinking every waking moment about my ex-wife and the pain I felt. I was a good husband and a wonderful father to my children, and still am and always will be. I have my children half the week and she does as well. She moved to her mom's after leaving me and life hasn't exactly worked the way she planned. Her partner wanted nothing to do with a woman with 3 kids, so he split. My ex-wife is the most selfish woman I've ever met and sure as hell would never admit that she made a mistake, but I see a sadness in her. She's not happy and I don't think she ever will be. She's always had an emptiness in her. It's always been there, but I often wonder what goes on in her head to traumatize our children the way she has. I wish her the best, I really do. I never thought months ago I would be able to say that, but I've gotten to that point. And it's been such a weight off my shoulders. Me on the other hand, I met countless women late last year and earlier this year but had no connection with any of them. Other than physically, none of them changed my perception of women after my divorce. But then in February I met an amazing woman. I moved very slow with her and even put a wall up and pushed her away in the beginning months. It was a defense mechanism put up by me not to have an attachment or connection. But lucky for me she saw past that and knew it wasn't the real me. She has been so good to me and looks at me with love in her eyes that I have never experienced in my entire life. My ex-wife never loved me half as much as this woman does. When I was married I had 4 very serious knee surgeries and my ex-wife never even went to the hospital with me for them. About a month ago my appendix began to burst and I was hospitalized for a couple days, and this woman slept in a chair next to my hospital bed for 2 days. She would walk to hell and back for me, and I would for her as well. I recently introduced her to my children after very much thought and consideration. They love her and she loves them as well. She gives them attention and plays on the floor with them, something they are not used to, as my ex-wife was always too busy with schoolwork. Everything is going great. I could never have imagined this a year ago. I thought I lost the love of my life. But the truth is I had never found her yet. I'm still sad at times for my children that they don't have a structure of a regular family, but the truth is I was shorted for so long. My ex-wife never appreciated or truly loved me. She used me to get her master's degree, then left. Had she not done that, I would have never met this woman who I love so much. My point of this post is to just let everyone who is in the beginning or later stages of the hell through a separation or divorce is that it does get better. Hang in there and keep fighting. I damn near quit on life, and I'm so happy I didn't. Things happen for reasons that we don't know sometimes, and I didn't want to hear that when I was going through my separation. But I finally understand now. Sorry, this was so long. I hope it gives hope to those of you in the storm. You deserve better than a cheater, and somewhere out there is someone that would never do that to you. The woman I'm with now was abused and cheated on by her ex-husband for 13 years. She was never treated right either. I saved her as much as she saved me. It gets greater later. Stay strong. Almost half a year later, last August, my ex-wife broke my world. She told me she was in love with her brother's best friend. Months earlier, I heard the whole "I love you but not in love with you" speech. I was suspicious of her from then. Yet she assured me no one else was involved, that we had just grown apart. Time progressed. She would watch Jersey Shore till 3 in the morning with her brother and this dude. Finally, last August, the truth came out. She told me she was in love with this man and he loved her. Our marriage was over. She really loved this guy. He had more on me than 3 kids and 7 years of marriage together. My world was destroyed. I contemplated X myself. Almost went through with it. I fought demons for months. I got back to me. I met a wonderful woman back in the spring. I waited months before she met my kids. The week before 4th of July, she finally met them. They clicked immediately. Time has gone by and has been wonderful. Today my ex-wife met my GF. It went well, short and sweet. My girlfriend is beautiful and educated. I put this meeting off for a while. I almost feel sorry for my ex. She left me for a single man with no kids. She has 3 with me. She really loved this man enough to throw a 7-year marriage and 3 kids away. Obviously, she was in a fog. He didn't want her. She lives with her mom with my kids half the week. We get along great. I will not let my kids reflect on their childhood with hostility and BS. I swallow my pride. I'm bigger than that. My GF feels bad and was apprehensive about meeting my ex-wife. I told her that you didn't create this life for me or my kids. You didn't end my marriage or have any part in it. I said you swooped in and saved me. I'm so in love with my GF. I went to hell and back trying to save my marriage. I was 90% of what my ex-wife wanted. What people don't realize is you can always find something in someone else that you don't have. This other man had qualities that I didn't have, but no one is perfect. He may have had the 10% I didn't have, but I can guarantee that he lacked 10% in another area. I've done so much research on this subject, and people often think there's someone so much better out there. When my ex-wife left me, I tried to tell her life's not rainbows and sunshine all the time. You are trading one set of problems for another. I said this man has no kids, he's a bachelor. Do you really think a man not used to kids wants to take on 3? My ex-wife thought she was all that in a bag of chips. This dude wasn't beat. Now you have created a life where in all likelihood you will have to deal with stepkids, because in all likelihood most people that will be with you will have children of their own. I grew up with a step-parent. It's not easy. So, at the end of the day, it's one set of problems for another. That's what you are trading. And you are also trading half your children's childhood. I miss half, as well as she does. Was it really worth it at the end of the day? I hurt for my kids. I see the pain in their eyes. I almost feel guilty or selfish for being so happy I have finally realized real love. I wish I had my kids with this woman. Being loved is amazing. I was complacent with insanity. I was so scared to lose someone that never loved me. It was almost like having a car repoed. You sometimes miss the car, but every day you don't miss the payment. What happened to OM? They were never together. It was an emotional affair. She was so sure this guy wanted her and loved her. Once I blew the lid off of everything, it kind of died out. I don't think her very religious family liked the whole thing all too much. I let everyone know about what she did to me, and I mean everyone. I think it's tough to carry one in a situation like that once everyone's looking at you in a certain light. As for ever getting back together, no thanks. That crap almost destroyed me last year. I'm not going through it again. I didn't deserve it. I was good to my family. I was thrown out like trash. I tried so hard to hold it together and she could have cared less. She was so cold to me. I felt like I didn't even know her. The wonderful woman I married died long ago. It's almost like she's an accident victim who sustained serious head trauma. She still looks the same and walks around, but she's not who she was all those years ago. That's how I got through it. I told myself that woman left and is never coming back. I told her last year when I was devastated I can't wait till I don't care just like you don't. I'll get there one day, I told her. I also told her I'm a good man, someone's going to love them some, Mike, and now someone does. Almost a year later, I recently heard from a third party that she waited a year and a half for him to start a relationship with her, but he never did. He gave her the runaround. Apparently she was infuriated, karma maybe. She threw our marriage away for a man that never wanted to be with her. So, 2 years have passed since divorce. Me and my ex-wife get along great and are actually quite friendly. Joint birthday parties and all. I met another woman over a year ago and have been with her ever since. Life does get better for all of those out there going through hell. It's still tough on me. I think about it every day. I don't think a day has passed in 2 years that I haven't thought about it. It will hurt me till the day I die that this happened and the nature in which it happened. Me and my ex-wife were best friends, or so I thought. The woman I am with is wonderful, but I am forever changed by what happened in my marriage. It's almost like having one foot in the pool. The woman I am with now loves me more than my ex-wife ever did. She breathed new life into me and in a way saved me. She loves my kids like her own and they love her as well. My girlfriend, although I love her, could be gone tomorrow and I would be fine. I am so galvanized through this experience that I will never ever put my all in, which is sad. I saw firsthand how someone can change. My family being broken up was an atomic bomb. Nothing will ever hurt me that bad again. Anything else is a flesh wound compared to that. My ex-wife, she's not happy. I can tell. I know her very well. It makes me sad. My kids hate the constant shuffle. At the end of the day, it's like, why did all of this have to happen? I can't believe it's been 2 years. I truly can't. The pain that I felt 2 years ago was the most unbearable that I have ever felt. Heart in chest, no sleep, can't eat. I thought it would never end. And to some extent it hasn't. There is a dull ache where monstrous agony once resided. Better yes, wonderful no. One thing I have realized is that this is a scar that I will always have. It will always hurt and be with me forever. I won't let it control my life, but at the same time it's always there. Even 2 years later, I am much better than the dark days of the past. It was an unreal feeling. Wouldn't wish it on anyone. Although at one point 2 days removed from our separation, after every picture of me and my kids and family were taken down and put in garbage bags, along with all my belongings, I was so sad. My ex-wife said to me in such a coldness in which I will never forget, "Dust yourself off, it's not the end of the world." Crap, sure felt like it. I hope, and this may be wrong of me, but I hope that she feels the same for someone else that I did for her, and they tell her that. But it would never be equivocally as significant because her family wouldn't be ripped apart with 3 small kids involved. She will never experience the hell that she put me through. I wish she could carry my pain for one single day. But at the end of the day, no one will ever break me. Every rock they throw I use as a stepping stone. Get on my knees and have a convoy with the Lord above me. Sometimes I think I hear him wrong and think he's saying duck me. Only he can judge me. Care less what they thinking of me, cause honestly I'll be alright. I've no one ever loved me, excluding my kids, and I got that. Another 2 years later, saw OM today and was very cordial. Truth is, I don't give a crap. She is his problem now. I wish them nothing but the best. Makes my life easier if she's happy. My kids rarely see him. He's a single guy with no kids. Kind of a good situation for him cause he and her live kidless every weekend. Bottom line is this. I got myself a good girl 2 years ago. I'm really happy. Same time I could be single and just as happy because at the end of the day, duck it. If someone doesn't want you, don't fight at all. I wish I could go back in time and cut out all the begging and I love you. If I could go back in time, I would go back to the day she told me I love someone else and I would be like, okay, cool. Sounds good. Wish more than anything I had been like that and had that attitude. Whatever you are going through, you will heal. Doesn't sound good now, I know. I really do. Pick yourself up and fight. The best advice I can give is to use this time to become who you want to be. Use it as motivation to say, I'm going to live my life and be happy. Duck this. I took a Rocky approach like in Rocky 4. I got into great shape and became stronger. I look back at my downtime 3 years ago and actually appreciate it now. Sounds crazy even as I type, but it was almost a fun time in my life. I became who I am today when I went through that hell. For whatever strange reason, I really look back and say to myself, wow, I had fun through that time period. Sure, as hell didn't seem like it then, but I had a few women do walk of shames out of my house. Had all-night casino trips with the boys and many times that I was alone. Walking the beach as the sun came up. Many drunken nights watching movies alone. All of that got me to this point. I shook the hand of a man who I was slightly friends with, that betrayed me and took my wife. And it felt great. That handshake gave me a final peace. It was the final step. To everyone out there hurting, get to a point when you can forgive whoever did you wrong. You will never heal if you don't. Carrying around hate will weigh you down. Forgiving someone isn't about them, it's about you. And a necessary step if you ever want to recover. I look back on the toughest days of my life with fondness. Wish I could relive them again because I really found myself. Made me who I am now. Food for thought for anyone going through hell. Wish I could go back in time and be just as cold as my walk-away spouse and be like, cool. I would give a year off my life to go back and be emotionless just like she was. because I fought hard and cried a lot of tears. Stand tall, everyone. No matter what you go through, you will be okay. It will mold you into a better person. Story 2. Me and my wife met online. We both had a reason to be searching for people on an online dating site. We both run successful businesses. We actually have a crap load in common. We got married in 2017 and everything was picture perfect. I sold my house and moved in with her at her house. We had our ups and downs, a lot of downs. One of the major problems in our relationship was her child that was 11 and now he is 17. We had major parenting conflicts and have gotten into many fights because of this. For instance, I like people to earn something rather than it just being handed to you. Like a car, cell phone. She even gives him her credit card to go shopping with and he'll drop $900 in clothes. Our finances are separate and she pays her own credit card payments. So some of you out there are saying, dude, what's your problem? You're lucky she pays her own credit card. My response is he is overindulged and talks about dropping out of school. He just got fired from his job for 3 no-call no-shows. No drive to earn anything, and overindulging a child is dangerous behavior. Unless you want to live with your stepchild when he's 30 years old. This is just one of our tension points. 2 years ago, her dad passed away, and he was only 59. Complications with heart surgery. He was in ICU for 8 months and that was emotionally draining, and she hasn't been the same since. She tells me she's over it as best as she can be, but I know she's not. Her dad was definitely number one in her life. He ran the business that she took over after the fact. She tells me I wasn't there for her during that hard time in her life and there is no talking her out of her feelings. She discounts the hundreds of hours I spent at the hospital. Because I wasn't there as much as she needed me apparently. The ICU only allowed 2 people to go in to see him at a time and it was always her mom and her in there. I spent countless hours in a waiting room. In the downturn of the economy, her business has been suffering, and I know that is a huge amount of added stress on her. Some weeks she has a hard time meeting payroll. We have had our fights where she has said I want a divorce in the past, and those words cut deep. We have separated before in the past. She says I left her 3 times and really, she forgets that she told me to leave. Long story short, 2 days ago she said she needed to talk to me. Whenever she says that, I know there is a serious problem. She told me that she has noticed that I have been trying really hard for our relationship for the past 3 months. But she said she has already checked out. She has never said those words to me before, and then the conversation moved to who keeps the house. So, I knew she was serious. She told me she had talked to her mom and she could move in with her mom or with her brother. Or I could move in with my brother, and that might be easier. In all practical reasons, moving in with my brother would make more sense. Since I got rid of everything before we got married to be with her. We do have serious communication issues. She is the type of person that has to be right on everything, and sometimes it's embarrassing. Especially when she doesn't know what she's talking about. She was arguing with some furniture movers 5 days ago that our bed was not a California king. And they were installing the bed in our bedroom. And they set the bed to a regular king. And the bed didn't fit. Then she was arguing with the professional furniture movers that she has never bought one before and they didn't know what to say. They just set the bed to a California king size, and guess what? The bed fits. The only reason I'm telling you something so petty is that as I have a problem with our relationship and need to talk to her, I have to put kid gloves on, even if I know I'm right. Maybe she's just so unhappy that anything just pisses her off. She told me 2 days ago that for the rest of my life I would settle for a mediocre marriage, and she can't. So, she's not saying the marriage is bad, just mediocre. I see no signs of cheating or anything like that. But how do women just turn off a switch like that? Is it that her business is failing? Her dad died, her son is driving her up a wall. And her marriage isn't what she wants, and I'm the only thing she can throw away. I have taken my wife all over the world, twice. Mediocre. For example, Rome 2 times, Venice, Switzerland, Monte Carlo. Canada skiing 2 times, France, Costa Rica 2 times, Cozumel 3 times. Cancun 4 times, and pretty much every island in the Caribbean. I guess those places are pretty mediocre. I told her that if she wanted to leave, then I would appreciate if she was the one who moved out, since it was her idea to separate. And it would be better for me if she did it sooner than later. It is really hard to try to get over someone if they are in your same living environment. We don't have kids. She was a little offended that I just wouldn't go to my brother's, which I may anyway. I hope you guys listen to this. I know it's hard to put 5 to 7 years on one go. I love her, don't want it to end. But if the grass is greener, maybe she needs to find out. She is incredibly good looking, so she won't have a hard time finding anyone to find out. I'm not ugly either, I think. I know she's not happy. Sometimes when people get into a routine and you get used to going to really nice places, that stuff too can get boring and mediocre. This isn't the first time she has told me that she wasn't happy. I don't know if I can make her happy, which is what kills me the most. She told me she wanted to split now because I have some trips lined up in the next 4 months and she can't go on them cause she's too busy with work. She knows they will be asking for names really soon on who's going on the trips. See, I buy a lot of stuff from manufacturers and they send me on a lot of trips. The trips this year that are coming up is a cruise in October, a week-long trip to BC, a week in Cancun, another cruise to Hawaii, and I didn't have time to do another trip that would have gone to Spain. All of this is lined up before March. I am very fortunate to get these perks, but I work damn hard to get them too. Is my wife depressed? I don't think she's ever been the same since her dad died. But she'll be the first one to argue with me about that. Our biggest problem is communication. She can do it and I'm not allowed to. For instance, if something is on her mind, she says it. If something is on my mind, I can't just say it for repercussions of her giving me 10 reasons why I'm wrong. I know I'm not perfect in the marriage, but I will make her go through all the work to do the separation. All of this got thrown on me 30 hours ago, so I really don't know what to think. But if she wants out, then she can leave the house. I may just give her the house anyway. But I want her to go through the motions to move all her crap out and see what it's like to sleep on couches and other places for a couple weeks. She told me if I stay in this house then I have to pay all of the mortgage. We split everything before. I can afford it, but I know she was mad when I told her I wanted her to leave. That's why she said it would be easier if I stayed at my brother's. But now since she said I have to pay it all, then maybe I'll just let her come back and she can pay it all and I can live with my brother for free. That'll save me about $4,000 a month. She can afford it too, so I might as well save the money in the meantime. She must think the grass is greener. Not sure why she thinks that unless she either has her eyes on someone else, which I see no signs of that. She generally is a very smart person and would think things through logically before jumping. That's why I think this has been a long time in the doing. She did mention something a few days ago that I thought was odd now after she told me she wanted a divorce. She mentioned a mutual friend of ours, who recently got divorced. She was on her Facebook wall and told me she looks like she's having the time of her life now. We just know her, and we don't really talk to her or hang out with her, so I know she's not bending her ear. Basically, she doesn't have man-bashing friends. And that's another thing. It's not like we have or she has friend that could talk to her about leaving me. All of her friends will think she's stupid. They all like me, but tell her that if she's not happy then they will support her, which is understandable. So, feeling really low right now. In an hour I have to head into work, and everyone is going to ask me what happened. I will have to relive all of my broken-hearted feelings over and over again. I have a wedding picture that has been up for 4 years right above my phone, and it's going to kill me to take it down. I don't even want to go to work. I don't know what I would do without this forum. I am so lonely. So, here's my dilemma. I asked the wife to leave the house on Saturday if she was serious. And she did. I think she moved into her mom's house about 25 minutes away. She took just her clothes and her personal belongings. When she left, she made sure to tell me that I need to pay all of the bills here at the house since she will have to pay bills at her new place. Like her mom's going to charge her rent. You're right, we just bought this house, and we have been remodeling it. I am currently in the house. I was in the process of selling one of my houses when we purchased this house. So this house is in her name and not mine, not even on title. I could tell she wanted to stay at the house and not have to leave, but I didn't want her to get that leg on me. If she wanted to ruin 6 years of being together, then she can leave, as far as I was concerned. But when it comes to dollars and cents, should I just call her and tell her she can have the house back and she can make all the mortgage payments? Because I asked her before she left on Saturday, if the shoe was on the other foot would she pay the whole mortgage payment? And she said yes. So, question, this house costs about $4,000 for everything a month. Should I move into my brother's house and save the money? When should I make actual contact with her to tell her? She owns another house that she is renting, and I know the renters would get out if she asked. I don't want her to set up that kind of arrangement. Then I regret not letting her move back in here. What do I do? I know it's only been a few days and maybe I'm overthinking it. My question is, should I talk to her tonight and tell her that maybe she should move in and I'll move out? I have put over $75,000 into the house since we bought it in December. She has put over $200,000 into the house. My problem is the house is not worth what has been put in. Now we didn't get loans out for the extra work being done, so there is no second. But Zillow is saying the house is only worth $560,000. Now I know you guys think I'm stupid that we put this much money in the house since we bought it for $460,000. We owe $420,000, and of course, I was not planning on getting separated, so here I am. I told her before she told me that I want to know how much she has put into the house. And that's when she told me the $200,000. She has receipts and can prove it. Now here's the scenario. She said she can buy me out easier than I could buy her out. And that may be the case now that I know she's got that much into it. Question. Should I call her tonight to tell her I want to talk to her about the house? Should I just have her buy me out of the house? Are we moving way too fast for the separation? Am I crazy to try to hang on? What the hell do I do? I called her and set up a time to meet her tomorrow. I told her that we have some serious decisions that we have to make if we are going to go down this road. She agreed, not sure if that was good or not, but that's what she said. She wants to meet here tomorrow at 5 p.m. because she needs to get some feminine stuff, she called it. Should my first question to her be, I need to hear it from you that you truly want a divorce, then the conversation should run its course. I'm assuming I will tell her she can have the house and buy me out. Does anyone think I'm crazy that these major life-changing decisions have to be made only 4 days after she said she wanted to leave? Tell me if that's crazy or moving too fast into the separation. Is this normal? Maybe she's thought it all out months ago and I'm the one blindsided. I kind of got what I wanted, but I now have to live with my consequences. She will be moving back into the house so she can finish the house. We both felt that that was the right decision. I didn't lose my cool at all. I was calm, thanks to you guys giving me a pep talk before she got here. I really appreciate this board because I don't have anyone I can really express my feeling to. I recorded the whole conversation with my iPhone. One of the things she said was, I don't want to live in a mediocre marriage, and if I have to be single until I find great, or maybe I'll be single the rest of my life, then I'm willing to do that. I hope I didn't just jinx myself. Those words cut very deep. Right before she said that we had something great and everyone was jealous of our marriage, and everybody envies and still envies us because we get along so well. What the hell? Then she brings up her cousin and how they have been married for 16 years and love each other more now than ever. So, it's almost like everything she wants is something I can't give her. She says we're missing something. She's not willing to go to counseling. She's done with counselors. There is a quick update. But whatever, mediocre. I know I brought this up before, but I don't know how many other people out there she will be able to find that will be able to take her to all the places I have been able to take her. Costa Rica, Rome, Turkey, Switzerland, Italy, France, Monte Carlo, Spain, every island in the Caribbean, Cozumel, Cancun, apparently. I'm one mediocre guy. I know trips don't make a marriage, but damn mediocre. Long story short, I will be moving into my brother's house. Not really wanting to though, but at least I don't have to pay a $3,000 a month mortgage. She can afford it, so I'm not really worried about that. Her pride won't be able to come to me for money. I am so sad now. I just finished moving all of my stuff out of the house. Within the last 4 hours, she has now changed or deleted her relationship status on FB. Not separated, but took it off completely. I have now hit a new bottom. She doesn't want to reconcile. I am in a world of hurt and pain, and just so tore up inside. This is even worse than when she told me that she wanted a divorce. It seems so real now. Before I always had hoped that we could work through it. But if she deleted her relationship status, I'm sure she is done with me. I am in deep depression. I have to get to the acceptance point, but I would do anything to make the pain go away. The wonder if my STBXW is with someone is even more gut-wrenching. I know some of you would wish they were in my situation since they know their other is already with someone. My curiosity is now overwhelming me. Since yesterday she deleted her relationship status off her FB wall. As I was moving my stuff out of the house, I am at a new low and have only slept 6 hours the past 2 days. Sometimes the little things seem so cruel. I've been crying for hours now. It's actually harder to be here at my brother's house since I have to hold back my emotion, and I can't cry. I just miss her so much. Why was my STBXW texting me when she was at the football game today? She was just texting small talk about nonsense. I know she was drinking. She went with a girlfriend. This is the same STBXW that just deleted her relationship status last night. I just got word from a mutual friend that this is over. She told them she wants a divorce. He talked to her for over an hour. There were no pictures of us up in the house. How can 6 years go so dark? I'm so trying to keep it together, but I'm dying inside. No emotion when he told her I am hurting so badly. I didn't tell him to say that. Couldn't control what he said. I wasn't there. She must be completely over me. I have to accept this, but it hurts too bad to let go, even though she has already done so. Apparently, she put a picture up of her father where we were supposed to put a TV. Above the fireplace. I guess I know where I stand. Number 2 to her father who passed 3 years ago. Or maybe I'm overanalyzing it. For her to get to that picture that she had to put up, she had to sift through pictures of our wedding. The house is under remodel, so they were all together. But the pictures of us at our wedding were not there when he was there. Those pictures of our wedding were canvas pictures that were huge and they had to have been moved somewhere. Apparently, she's trying to get over me and can't get over her father's passing if that is where his picture is above the fireplace. How can I move on? I lost it in front of my brother this morning. He came up to me and told me he was so sorry. Then he started crying for me and my pain. He doesn't want to see his twin brother going through this pain. I'm glad I have someone so close. My twin brother has always been an issue with my STBXW. She always, though I put him first. Unfortunately, nobody can break the bond of identical twins. I had a great conversation with my ex-girlfriend who we have a daughter together. She is happily married and has a great life with her husband and my daughter. I know she loves me and it breaks her heart to see me going through this. She has always had the right things to say and she told me this quote. Nobody can make you feel inferior without your consent. So, had to go to the house to pick up the dogs because STBXW was doing a girl trip up north for her friend's 40th b-day. She said there was still stuff of mine in the house. I told her I would get it when I was there. She had all my stuff packed up by the door for me. How sweet of her. Why is she so? Hurry the duck up and get out. She didn't really say that, but damn. Weeks later, just not doing well at all today. She has filed for divorce, and she has admitted to going out on dates, and it's only been barely a month since she told me she wanted a divorce. I blocked her on FB yesterday because all my friends can see I've been beating myself up over the past month. She is constantly posting new pics, changing her profile pic 3 times in a week. On top of it all in 2 hours. 4 years ago we walked down the aisle together. Today is our anniversary. I sent her a nice email last night, but I got no response. I had to do it anyway for my celebration of the happiest day of my life. What a day. My comment: hope you guys like these long ones. Wanted to provide some good ending stories. Things will get better if you start to get better.